Pusilla Gymnasium floor. Our sponsors, as always, making possible this live Millersville telecast, the Lancaster Futon Company, James F. Wild, the Sugar Bowl, Millersville's Costume Shop, Stone Mill Family Restaurant, the Palmer School of Business, Domino's Pizza, Har Wilco Cycle, Subway Sandwiches, Durs Amico, Hardee's Restaurants, and the Millersville Alumni Association. Well, as you can see, we're all rising here at Pusilla Gym, here at Millersville University, as the honor guard moves to center floor. And Jim Doherty and I will be right back live on Cable 22 with our pregame conversation, but we are obviously going to first stand. I feel like I'm doing a golf match right now, Jim, but we're going to stand here in just a moment for the playing of our national anthem here at Millersville. Okay. Well, I'll tell you, it's an awful eerie feeling to finish the commercial billboard and the music stops and you realize there's not a sound in this entire building. But we're ready to go right now, live on Cable 22, and this Mount St. Mary's mounts under veteran in his 34th year head coach Jim Phelan. They're here at Millersville tonight, and they are not strangers. The Marauders and the Mounts, they played earlier this year in a Christmas tournament down at Emmitsburg, Maryland, and the Mounts won in overtime behind the combined 47 points of freshman guard Alex Watson and talented junior forward Mike Tate. Tate had 27 in that game, and you will hear an awful lot from Mike Tate tonight as you look at the Mount St. Mary's Mounts coming out of the locker room right now. They are a perennial, as we said, Division II power. They were ranked in the top 10 most of last year. They are, as a matter of fact, soon going to be leaving Division II. They opened a beautiful new complex in Emmitsburg, Maryland this year called the Knott Athletic Center, and they play down at the Knott right now, and they are planning on moving to Division I for the 88-89 year. They are big, they're strong, they're talented, and they're well coached. And there you saw on your screen on crutches Tommy Gaines, the talented Millersville front court performer who's out with that broken ankle till very late in the year. But surprisingly, Jim Doherty, the Mounts have lost 2 games in a row over the weekend to league opponents down in Virginia. So they come into this game, as Jim said, with a 2-game losing streak, and Jim, a 12-6 record overall. And they're going to have their hands full with the Marauders and their home streak record here tonight at Pusilla.
Exactly right, Bill. The Marauders are 60-5 in Pusilla Gym under 5th-year coach John Cochan, 106-30 overall. Cochan doing a marvelous job here at the Ville since he came on the scene. This year's team is almost like a before and after photo. The old Charlie Atlas strength cartoons, etc. Before was the Tommy Gaines team, if you will. Tommy, the gentleman that Bill noted on screen, coming out of the locker room on crutches, leading scorer, leading rebounder, so forth, lost to the team for the season. We're now in the after Tommy Gaines phase. The entire style of play of the Marauders has changed. They've now exploited the 20-foot shot, the 3-point shot. Bobby Bradfield has shot 46 out of 85 in three-point shots on the season. And those of you who were with us last Wednesday night just saw Bobby Bradfield just tear apart a pretty decent club from Cheney. And they'll be hoping to do the same tonight. Defensively, they will indeed have their hands full. Mike Grimes, who plays the pivot for Mount St. Mary's, is 6'10". Now, of course, Millersville can compensate with Carlton Thacker at 7'1", but nothing against Thacker, but Grimes is, in all probability, a superior athlete. What Millersville needs to do is get that excellent shot percentage offensively, and they need to box out defensively, get the rebound, and run up and down this court as we've seen them do many times in the past. They get the fast break going. They call it the Millersville Express. When the Express runs, the Marauders win. Now, if the Mounts, who are somewhat bigger in the front line, can box out Millersville, can disrupt the three-point shooting of Bradfield, can hold leading scorer Hughes down under his 20-point per game total, then the Mounts could very well be the first club to beat the Marauders here in Pusilla in over 2 years. But we're looking for a real good game. Mount St. Mary's coming off 2 losses. Millersville with a string of 5 victories in a row, and they've played some pretty darn good clubs. They're 3-0 and PSAC competition, just having beaten Westchester last week. So we will be back very shortly. I'd like to, in conclusion, give you the starting lineup for Millersville. It's going to be the aforementioned Bobby Bradfield and Claude Hughes. In the backcourt, in the front court, going to be Troy Daniels, Rob Lawton, and at center, 7'1" Carlton Thacker. Coming off the bench, Mike Monroe, a story in itself, which will develop as the game goes along and Monroe gets some floor time. Bill?
Okay, Jim, we have a commercial message, and we will be right back as the public address announcer will be bringing you all of the starting lineups and bringing the fans here at Fusillo, and we'll tell you a little bit about the Mount starting lineup at that time. But right now, a pause for this message.
A futon is so many things. It's a sofa, it's a bed, but it's not a sofa bed. It's more versatile. Can you change the covers on a sofa bed? No. On a futon, yes. It can go from living room to guest room to dorm room to van to summer home to anywhere. You can get a futon and a frame in any size from cot to king, from oak to cherry at Lancaster Futon Company in the Central Market Mall. Stop in or call for information on a 100% cotton, American-made, affordable and comfortable futon. Call 394-5194. Among the 6,000 Lancaster area alumni of Millersville University are graduates of its diverse programs, from the traditional, such as art, music, history, and teaching, to the contemporary, such as medical technology and computer science. Millersville has much more: a beautiful campus, a caring faculty, cultural and athletic offerings, and an active alumni body. Evening courses allow part-time study. Looking for higher education? Look to Millersville University.
As you can hear, the Millersville Marauders starting 5 is going to be introduced. And as Jim said, it will be Bradfield, Daniel, Thacker, Hughes, and Lawton. Now there's an awful lot of noise in the background. There's Bobby Bradfield on your screen, number 3. But Jimmy Phelan will start a pretty strong lineup himself. He will start John Moore out of Dallastown High in York County at one of the guards, and if there's a point guard that can match Bob Bradfield, it's Johnny Moore. He will start and wear number 11. The other guard is Alec Watson, a freshman, 6'3", out of Baltimore, Maryland. Watson had 20 points in the first meeting between these two squads. Mike Tate, the aforementioned junior forward, their leading scorer, had 27 against Millersville the first time. Tate wears number 24 and will be the wing forward. The power forward is Sean Fagan out of Frederick, Maryland. He's 6'7" and a sophomore. He'll be wearing number 53. And there he is, Mike. So that's Fagan, number 53. And Mike Grimes, as Jim mentioned, will be starting in the middle at 6'10", a senior co-captain for Jim Phelan, and really on a tear lately, averaging 17 points and 13 rebounds in the last 6 Mount games. He's number 50 and will be jumping in the middle against Carlton Thacker. So watch Grimes. It'll be quite a matchup between Grimes and Thacker, and later Rob Bard. Jim? Well, that ball went out of bounds on the
out
top.
of bounds. Going to be a re-jump. Nope. Going to be the Mounts ball. Inbounding. Thacker, the better of the jump bid, tapped it out of bounds.
Millersville going right to a man-to-man, and Thacker will match up against Grimes. Rob Lawton has Fagan. Here's a wide-open jumper for Grimes. It will not go, and Troy Daniel, says the official, knocks it away.
Troy being challenged by John Moore underneath.
Talk about matchups. Watch that one. Johnny Moore and Bob Bradfield on one another. And Hughes and Watson. Some great matchups out there to watch. Here's the 6'5" Tate with 6'3" Troy Daniel on him. And look at the quick hands of Claude Hughes.
Trying to work it into Grimes and didn't get it down.
Daniel, bingo.
Troy Daniel. And there goes the crepe paper serenade. Troy Daniel hitting from the corner just inside that three-point line. Millersville doing what they do best, the good man-to-man defense. They were trying to work into Grimes. The fast hands of Hughes deflected, captured, and assisted to Daniels.
Troy Daniel had 33 points in the win against Cheney the other night, 21 at halftime. So he might still be warm, although he cooled off a bit in the win against Westchester Saturday. He loves to play on this floor. So watch Troy Daniel, number 24 for Millersville. Okay, this is Grimes, top of the key, and he's a good outside shooter for a big man. And this guy's deadly. Missed by Johnny Moore, and Lawton wants to run. Here's Daniel again, little 18-footer, 2 for 2.
And again, the missed shot offensively, the Millersville rebound against the bigger Mounts. Doubling on the ball, shot missed by Grimes, rebounded by Daniels. Bradfield,
nope. Daniels hot, this one won't go, and
nope.
That's Mike Tate with the first rebound of the day for the Mount. It's 4-zip in the early going. Millersville plays with a lot of emotion, and they love to play at home by virtue of that record. Cheney was the last team to beat them here in late '86, but that wasn't a regular season game. That was a playoff game. Here's Tate to the hole, left-handed scoop goes in.
Beautiful job. Grimes set up the screen for him, and Tate drove left-handed and put it down. Beautiful left-handed control of the ball.
Mike Tate out of St. John's High in Washington, D.C. Three-pointer. Bradfield is short, and there's Moore with a rebound. Here's Watson. Watson lays it in, and he's fouled, and that's Troy Daniel with the first infraction of the night. And Alex Watson, a 6'3" freshman, goes to the line to try to give the Mounts their first lead.
Well, as I said in the early going, Millersville has to have that good shot percentage. They've missed 2 shots and immediately have been converted into Mount St. Mary's fast break buckets, and the foul shot gives the Mounts the lead 5-4 with 18 minutes left to play in the half.
Lawton on the break, and there's going to be a whistle and the foul on Grimes, I believe. Well, you can see the full court pressure by Mount St. Mary's, but Millersville beat it the way you want to beat a press, with a 3-on-2 break at the other end.
Yeah, really, the Mounts didn't run their pressure correctly because both Daniels and Lawton were open down court.
Swinging the ball on the inbounds play. Here's Claude Hughes, Millersville's leading scorer, and he misses, and that's a very obvious foul by Carlton Thacker. Positioned by Mike Tate, and Thacker, trying to go over the back, commits his first foul.
His first, team second.
Now remember, when Thacker goes out of there, Rob Bard usually plays, and boy, Millersville will really be giving up some size then, as Bard is 6'7", but keep in mind, Mount's front line is 6'10", 6'7", 6'6". This is Fagan. He's been playing well in the absence of Lee Hicks. Lee Hicks is a talented Mountaineer performer. Look out as Rob Lawton hurdles the Millersville bench. Hicks, similar to Tommy Gaines, Jim, went out in December and is probably lost for the year. Hicks went out with a broken wrist. Three-pointer Moore, you bet.
Three-pointer Moore.
You've got to stay on Johnny Moore. He is very talented at burying that outside shot. Hughes. Here's Daniel, I think, from 3. Is it?
Nope.
Nope. I guess just 2. So Daniel has all 6 Marauder points as Bradfield picks up Johnny Moore. Here's Grimes. Fagan will take that 16-footer, but it's a little strong. And look at Grimes.
With the tap. There's your big man inside that Millersville does not do anything about. Daniel's jump shot broke a 7-point Mount St. Mary's surge.
Hughes, here's Daniel. It's a one-man show, but Troy misses that one. And Grimes has a rebound. 10-6 the Mountaineers, and they can go up by 6 right here. Tate. Grimes, he's got it just about any way he wants it right now as he's dominating down low.
He's not the biggest man on the court. Thacker, 3 inches taller, but Grimes, a tremendous athlete.
Grimes comes back, or I should say, Thacker comes back at the other way and says, take that, Mike Grimes. Off the glass, and the Mount's lead is down to 4.
12-8 Mount St. Mary's.
Well, you can see that Jim Phelan has scouted Millersville, and he knows that Grimes is a hot player, and he knows that Thacker can't stay with him. We mentioned it in our pregame show, and it's happening, folks. Here's Hughes. Nice dish off to Thacker, and he's belted from behind.
Foul in 53. That's going to be Fagan, I believe. And Bard getting ready to report in for Miller. Foul on number 11.
First, team second. Thacker shoots 2.
Johnny Moore, doubling down low to help out, was caught grabbing. And here's 7-1 Carlton Thacker out of Annapolis, Maryland. And I'll tell you, this won't be easy. The Mount very rarely losing 3 games in a row, very rarely losing 6 games in a season.
2 free throws by Thacker. 14-10, Mount St.
And you can
Mary's.
bet Jim Phelan has them ready tonight. They're up by 4 as Bard checks in and Thacker goes out.
Now Robbie Bard faced with the task of defending against, Rob Lawton takes Grimes. Thacker's going to be working on, they're using a matchup in the back line, a matchup man-to-man or matchup zone in the back line. Lawton and Bard camping back there, taking whomever comes into their area.
Almost looks like a box on one. There's John Moore, and he buries another one. And there's one guy you cannot let alone. 16-10 Mount St. Mary's. Bobby Bradfield has it banged away by Moore. Good pick to free Hughes, and he's got a three-pointer. Claude Hughes had a slow start the other. There's a bad pass and a Mount turnover. 16-13 with 14:55 left in the first half.
Mount's incidentally in a man-to-man defense.
Look at Lawton moving inside, draws the foul.
Drew one on Grimes, I believe.
Either Grimes or Watson. 5-0 is Grimes. That's 2 on Mike.
Grimes is second.
And that, of course, a big key. Get Mike Grimes in foul trouble. It will really help the Marauder.
Here again, it's something that Millersville does not very frequently do, and that's really take it to the hole. Lawton misses his first shot. You know, they've been content with the outside shooting, except it doesn't seem to be going down tonight. Misses both of them. Claude Hughes.
Look at Hughes hustle. Does Millersville have it? They do, thanks to Claude Hughes. Here's Bradfield getting one.
Bobby Bradfield sinks a deuce, but mark that one up for number 5, the hustling Claude Hughes at only 6'3", fighting in there twice to break that rebound loose.
A lot of steps for Grimes. It won't go. Bard with an aggressive rebound, and Millersville can recapture the lead.
Good defense on Grimes by Lawton.
Bradfield as they swing the ball. The Mount's in a zone. Lawton's going to think about it down low. Throws it up right-handed, and it goes.
They got another foul here.
Fagan with his first. Rob Lawton, the natural left-hander, switched hands in midair and laid it in with the right hand, and Fagan commits the foul.
2 times Lawton goes to the hole, 2 times he's fouled.
Rob Lawton just missed 2, and now he misses another one. So he is 0 for 3 from the free throw line. And Millersville, though, back on top, 17-16 with 14 minutes left first half. We are live on Cable 22. Hope you're enjoying it. A non-conference game for both schools, obviously. Mike Tate with a three-pointer. lot of firepower on the Mounts team. If you slack off on Grimes or Johnny Moore, Tate will kill you. Millersville in their half-court offense now against the Mount zone. Looks like a 1-3-1. Bard. Hughes will try it, and it goes.
Simply challenging that middle.
Tied at 19. Claude Hughes, a very slow start the other night. Still, though, finished with 14, but he's gotten 5 already in this one. Boy, for a while last year, you're looking at 2 of the top-ranked teams. Johnny Moore banks that one in. Moore, the leading scorer in the game right now, with 7. Look at Bard at the other end.
Hustle going down the court. Just your routine inbounds. But Bard out in front of the pack gets an easy 2.
21-21. As Bard beats the Mount down the floor. Here's Fagan. He's done a real nice job as the sophomore, filling in for the injured Lee Hicks, and he now has his first bucket.
Now got some backcourt pressure by Mount St. Mary's, but Lawton helps out.
Three-pointer Hughes. He's a little strong, and Fagan has the board. Yeah, the three-pointers are not dropping as they did the other night for the Marauders. Good ball movement. Fagan is open. He's a little strong, and look out.
Oh, my.
That was a good look by Johnny Moore. The ball on the rebound was tapped to Moore, who just touch passed it right to Grimes, who slams it in.
Millersville had an opportunity at that ball, but just got too big a rebound. The Ville down by 4. Hughes in trouble, looking to outlet.
Three-pointer. Nope. Look at Bard battle in there, and he keeps it alive. Troy Daniel pops it in. Well, that's a couple of times that Millersville's smaller hustling team kept the ball alive, and it resulted in a Marauder bucket.
Rob Bard broke it out. Daniels picked it up and converted. Mount St. Mary's not doing much down the baseline. Everything is out front. Millersville's keeping them out there.
Watson missed that three-pointer, and Millersville can tie again. Daniel, he gets streaky, but he's slapped from behind by Mike Tate. First foul on the junior. And what do we got? A timeout.
Media timeout.
Okay, with 11 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in this first half. There is a timeout on the floor, and Mount St. Mary's leading 25-13, and we'll be right back with more first half action right after this.
We're not showing you the Sugar Bowl's new look because we want you to see it yourself. We still have great pizza, stromboli, sandwiches, grinders, and ice cream. So stop into the new Sugar Bowl behind the football stadium in Millersville. Now you'll find the Millersville Mini Market inside the Sugar Bowl, too.
There go the Millersville cheerleaders after having just performed an aerial death-defying act at midcourt. 25-23. A tight ball game. Millersville staying in the game, though not really at the top of their game. The three-pointers are not hitting. Getting some inspired play by both Rob Lawton and Rob Bard on the inside, but Troy Daniel, but Bradfield unaccustomedly quiet. Being very well defensed, I might add, by Moore, number 11. Bill told you all about him. John Moore from Dallastown over in York County is just crawling in Bobby Bradfield's jersey tonight. Mike Monroe replaces Bradfield.
Monroe is into the lineup, and is he ever coming into his own? Thacker's back in with a turnaround hook.
Thacker replacing Rob Bard and gets a tie.
Monroe is filled with enthusiasm, and he really keeps these players and teammates pumped up. He had 16 the other night for a season high. Uh-oh, there's a bad pass by Watson, and it's a Mount turnover.
Monroe's just a freshman, and he's just working his way into the Millersville system. He is going to be a key player down toward the end of this season and years to come.
Watch him. Penetrates. We'll tell you a little about Mike Moore and what he did in Philadelphia. Look at Hughes. He thought better of it. Daniels open, and he's short. Troy has cooled off a little. We're tied at 25. Mike Tate, tough shooter from there, but he's short. There's Grimes with another rebound, and it's good.
Grimes at 6'10", not real big. He's only 210 pounds, but got good reach, good jumping ability.
Look at Monroe. That was a bad look by Mike, as he maybe should have gone to the basket.
Should have gone to the hole, no doubt about it. Thacker certainly wasn't expecting it.
27-25, the Mount, and here's the guy that's been hurting him. Grimes goes up with the left hand and rolls it in. And it's pretty obvious that Carlton Thacker cannot stay with Mike Grimes.
He's just killing Thacker.
He's got a dozen now.
Bard reporting to the scorer's table now. They're giving up size. A little bit more mobility and agility.
Well, Thacker at the other end, Jim, has 8.
Yes, he does.
So they're trading buckets, and the Mount, though, up by 2. 29-27, 9.5 minutes left.
Monroe now playing Moore.
Well, they got it into Grimes again. Leans underneath, and that one won't go. And here come the Express.
No Express this time, though. They got a playing against 4 Mount St. Mary's Mounts. Shot is no good. Mount St. Mary's with the rebound.
Ooh.
Somewhat ill-advised shot there. They had a 2-on-4 coming down the court.
Bad pass by Moore. He got himself off balance and a turnover as Hughes tries to answer and does not with a three-pointer. Thacker with a good board. Tries to go back up.
No foul call?
Look at that shot by Hughes, and the fans aren't happy with that one.
First of all, Thacker was hacked by Grimes going up for the ball, and then Hughes' shot was blocked, and they're giving possession to Mount St. Mary's. Tough series of calls for the Ville down at that end. 29-27, just under 9 minutes to play in the first half. The Mounts up by 2.
Our first look at a Mount St. Mary's substitution is Scott Murphy, another talented. Look at that reverse layup by Moore that will not go, and there's Mike Monroe, and he's fouled in the backcourt. That might be Johnny Moore's second or else Fagan's. Let's wait and see. It is John Moore. So Moore has a pair, and Grimes has a pair, and into the lineup is number 44, a 6'5" freshman out of Waynesboro, Scott Murphy, and he's a good one. Leading scorer for Coach Phelan off the Mount bench. Sitting down was the freshman guard, Watson.
Now Murphy's working on Bradfield.
Rebound, Tate, as Bard forced that up just a bit. You got a 6'5" guard in there, Jim, in Murphy, so that's going to be a problem for Bradfield, as you can see.
Yeah, they're trying to take Bobby down under. He's clearing out for Grimes.
Three-pointer Tate. You bet. Mike Tate, the Mount's leading scorer, now has 8, and it's 32-27. Mount St. Mary's by 5.
Mike Monroe's your point guard. Bradfield on the side. Hughes with the ball out front. Stripped by Tate, but a foul called on Tate.
Well, I've got Tate, Grimes, and Moore all with a pair. And next foul will be...
For Tate is second, team 7. For 5, Warren in the lineup for Mount St. Mary's.
penalty time for...
It is right now. That's the 7th team foul.
Oh, they're now changing it to the 7th? Okay, you're right. It is 1-and-1 time. So that should send Claude Hughes to the line, where he is at this point making his first journey. Checking into the Mount lineup, number 5, Cliff Warren, a diminutive 5'9" point guard, only a sophomore. Millersville's foul shooting has been awful.
At the line.
Matter of fact, would you believe it's 2 for 7? Difference in the ball game right now, those 5 points.
That's right.
Murphy, and he's a good shooter. Bingo, three-pointer. Scott Murphy buries a 3, and there's the largest lead of the night for the Mount, 35-27. And it happened in a hurry. Bard thought about it. Lawton, nice jump.
Lawton challenging Grimes and gets it off. Now Grimes with 2 fouls. He doesn't want to challenge Rob Lawton down in there too much.
Very small team for the Marauders, though. Their front line of only 6'3", 6'5", and 6'7". But they can run, and here comes Hughes. Oh!
All right. Claude Hughes saw a gap and went for it, picked up his dribble, and just flew to the hole.
I thought for a minute Claude may have left and stopped his dribble too soon, but he soared in there.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
35-31. The Marauders quickly cut the 8-point deficit to 4. Boy, does Bard do a nice job on Grimes or what? There's a good defensive move by Rob Lawton, because Mike Tate is tough in there, and Lawton did the job. And the fans serenade Mike Tate with air ball as there's timeout on the floor with 6 minutes and 26 seconds left in the first half. We will be right back.
Good girl, King.
Watch Best Friends every Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. only on Cable Channel 22. And see the animals at the Humane League who need a home.
Well, Jim, a real balanced effort for the Marauders. 8 for Thacker, 8 for Daniel, although a lot of them early. 6 of them right off the bat. 7 for Claude Hughes. The Mount getting 10 from Mike Grimes, 8 from Mike Tate, and 7 for Johnny Moore, and the Mount up by 4.
You know, I've just been reflecting on something that you said earlier. Millersville has a very small team on the floor. The scary thing is that that can only be improved by one player, which gives you 4 more inches.
That's right.
Millersville is a small team. Down by 4, 6.5 minutes to play with the ball against pressure.
The good news is the Marauders committing only 2 team fouls in the game so far. 1 for Daniel and 1 for Thacker. So they're in no foul trouble at all. As Monroe makes a move, back to Hughes, misses, and Grimes has the rebound. Well, we said there's a Mount player down. Warren is down, but he seems to be okay.
I think Warren caught an elbow.
We said that the Marauders would live and die by that three-pointer, and I wouldn't say they're dying by any means, but they're not dropping like they were the other night, and so they're down by 4. They've taken a bunch of them. Look at Warren.
This activity with the ball, but he makes a bad pass.
3-on-1.
Should have been a foul call. All right. Nice pass by Claudius Hughes. Gets Lawton for the stuff as the Bill pulls within 2.
The old behind the back and then 2-hand slam by Lawton, and that brings the crowd into the game.
2-hand slam by a man 6'5". That's not shabby.
35-33. They double team Tate. Warren is open because of the double team, and he misses it. Hughes with a rebound.
Up over top, Grimes.
And here they come. Monroe ties the game.
Millersville's doing what they do best, but the ingredient is the turnovers and the missed shots at the Mount St. Mary's end of the court. Obviously good defense, scrapping on the rebounds, and Robbie Bard doing a great job on Mike Grimes as he just hacked him.
And there's nothing wrong with that foul.
There's nothing wrong with hacking in there.
Because I'll tell you right now, the Mount was going with a backdoor play, and it was about to work, and Bard reached in with a good foul.
Hey, a 6'10 senior against that 6'7 freshman. The freshman's got to stick it in there and say, consider me, my friend. Mike Monroe calls a timeout for Millersville. And with 4:59 remaining to play in the first half, we are tied at 35.
It's yours?
No,
Your mother said she found it in your closet.
I don't know. One of the guys must
Must have what?
Look, Dad, it's
Where
not...
did you get it?
Dad,
Answer me. Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
Parents who use drugs have children who use drugs.
Well, a look at Coach John Cochan and assistant coach Tim Trier right behind him in that Marauder huddle. Rob Bard's defense has really made a difference as he's done a real nice job on Mike Grimes. Right now, the Mount leading scorer. But Millersville's in a dogfight here at Fusillo fans. Their nearly 2-year winning streak, I won't say is in jeopardy by any means, but it's going to be tough to continue it against this team tonight, tied at 35. There's Lawton and Thacker on the Marauder bench right now. Monroe, Bradfield, Hughes, and Daniel. Really 3 guards in there, 4 guards, excuse me, in there with Bard, Jim.
That's right. This is a small club.
Wide open is Warren. He's gone to the hole. Pulls up and hits it.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I don't know what kind of defense they discussed over there during the timeout, but it certainly didn't include leaving somebody that far open. I don't care if he did just come off the bench and he's a 5'9" sophomore.
Monroe. Millersville really spreading out the offense.
Well, I think they'd like to get Monroe some penetration. Get some movement among the big people down there.
Well, there was, but nobody there to rebound. Look at Monroe hustle to strip Warren of the ball. Just great hustle by Monroe, but he misses it.
He went up with the right hand. He's a natural left-hander, and he tried to put up the right-handed shot and missed it. Could have been better advised, perhaps, to pull it up and wait for Rob Bard or somebody.
Uh-oh, here's Murphy.
Conversely, comes down to the other end of the court.
That guy's
leaves
deadly.
Murphy wide open.
He's 2 for 2 from three-point land off the Mount bench, and it is 40-35 Mount St. Mary's all of a sudden, thanks to Murphy. 3:50 left in the half. Daniel wide open. That should be money. Yes, it is.
That's the kind of movement you need. Spread it out and move some people into the middle. Bring them in from the wings, bring them up from the baseline. But you got to move.
John Cochan doing a great job in coaching this year. Losing Tommy Gaines. There's a whistle.
I think they're going to call an equipment timeout for the shoestring.
Yeah, right in the middle of setting up a half-court play, the official says, "My time, fix that." He looked at Mike Tate and said, "Fix that."
Hey, he could be a Division I player. He did get it tied in a hurry, didn't he?
Well, he'll be one next year as the Mount goes Division I in 88-89.
Now, what's this? We got all kind of movement on the court, and the officials at the scorer's table holding the ball. Murphy and Moore in the backcourt. Boy, that's a pair. 2
tough three-point shooters there. Dumps down low to Tate, and he takes the smaller Troy Daniel on the low post to school, and Tate now has 10. 42-37, the Mount by 5. Too many weapons, Jim.
Exactly right. As soon as you stop one, as Robbie Bard has sat on Mike Grimes, then Murphy and company come into play.
Millersville, of course, loves to run, and when the Mount's making the shot, it's tough to run. Hughes leans in, blocked by Grimes. Good call, good non-call by the official. Here's Tate at the other end, and he lays it in.
Yeah, and Robbie Bard had to stay off of him.
Well, the Mount's back up to a 7-point lead. Still 2:40 left in this half, and a lot of basketball to go. Bradfield, and you can see Warren is right in his face. Hughes, though, has an open three-pointer.
But he picks it up again. He was fouled. That's 44. 44?
I think it is Murphy, and of course, Scott is saying, "I didn't touch him, ref." Whoop, blew 5. That was
5? Oh, 5. Okay, I thought, gosh, if they called that on 5-0, that would be Grimes' third. They called it on number 5. I think they got the wrong man, but nevertheless, Hughes is going to get to shoot 2.
Yeah, Warren is called for the foul. That's his first as Rob Lawton comes back in, giving Millersville a little more size.
Hey, somebody made a foul shot.
Yeah, Hughes is now 1 for 3 and 2 for 4. So that helps. 44-39. The Marauders down by only 5. Remember, these two teams met earlier in Maryland, and the Mount won in overtime. Nice pump fake, and Grimes has a left-handed layup.
Nice feed by Warren. There was just nothing that anybody could do about it. Bard had to go for the ball.
Hughes, bingo. That's a 2, though.
That's a deuce.
Hughes now has 11 to lead the Marauders, and Millersville, with 2 minutes left, hanging in there, down by only 5. Hey, at halftime, our good friend and longtime Millersville announcer, Bai Kinzer, will be joining us live, so stay tuned with that. There's a foul.
Yeah, I think they hit Hughes with that foul.
First on Claude. Millersville in absolutely no foul trouble. And that's good news as Thacker comes back in, giving Bard a rest. Rob has played a lot.
He certainly has, and he's played well. Could use a little more offense out of the freshman. Thacker's been providing a good bit of offense. There's Grimes from 10 feet.
Missing.
Missing.
You notice that Millersville not always able to run, as the Mount, I'm sure, well-schooled in preparing for this game to get back on defense. Hughes, that's a 3, I believe. It won't matter, he misses. Look at Daniel. Hustle for the rebound and hit the follow. Great hustle by Daniel. He's got a dozen. Millersville down by only 3. Minute 20 left. Warren, Tate's open from out there, and that one rims and comes out. Who's got it? Hughes, and I think he's fouled.
Yeah,
he is.
Going to get Warren reaching around behind. Hughes going to the line. Chance to bring the Ville to within 1.
Claude Hughes missed his first 2 and then just canned his last 2, so he's got a 2 for 4 night going from the free throw line. The leading Marauder scorer on the year is Claude Hughes. Out of West Philadelphia High School in Philly, a 6'3" senior. He transferred from Hampton Institute, and what a real find he's been. Look at that hustle by Lawton. Lawton missed the second one, or Hughes did, and Lawton gets the ball back for Millersville. Gets it back again. Pump fakes, stripped of the ball, and fouled by Murphy.
Robbie Lawton, great deal of hustle. Found a little bit of chink in the box out of Mount St. Mary's, went in and went up for the ball.
So Rob Lawton having an interesting, he's 0 for 3 though from the free throw line.
He's a Mason from that line.
He sure is. He's been clanging them up there. Well, he's got that one. Sean Fagan is going to come back and give Mike Grimes a rest, and a good move by Coach Phelan. No sense in getting that third one on Grimes with only a minute left.
Now Lawton with a chance to tie at the 1 minute mark, and he does.
So we're tied again, and it's been a dandy here at Fusillo, live on Cable 22. Hope you're enjoying it. 46-46 with now 52 seconds left in the half. We got 20 more minutes to go. Looking forward to it. Fagan. Tate's going to turn, miss. Look at that rebound by Fagan. It won't go, though, and Thacker with 35 seconds left, and Bobby Bradfield says one shot. We're going to lead or tie at halftime, says
right.
John Cochan. We'll keep you abreast of the time. 26 seconds left. You can see the offense is spread out. That's Daniel with the ball. 20 seconds now. Moore and Murphy. Whoa. Did they get it? No, they didn't get it. Look at Daniel hustle. Oh, he almost shot it with 10 seconds left. And now Warren strips him with the ball.
What in the world is that?
5 seconds left.
Stinks.
And the Mount's going to get a layup at the other end from Warren.
Where are the officials? They're taking a break. He got mugged. He got mugged. That was terrible.
Well, at halftime, it is Mount St. Mary's 48 and Millersville 46. And you can see John Cochan's scowl as he's pointing
that was terrible.
to the official and to a degree giving Bobby Bradfield some advice. As Warren stripped Hughes of the ball, we didn't get the whistle. He goes the length of the floor and scores only his second basket. Well, we've got a lot of things to bring you here at halftime, including that interview with By Kinzer live. So stay with us. We'll be right back to get it all started in just a moment.
First question.
The restaurant that cares for you. That's our motto at the Stone Mill Family Restaurant at 1550 Columbia Avenue, Lancaster. And we do care for you with a daily breakfast special until 11 a.m. and our buy one, get one free specials on Tuesday and Friday. Tuesday offers our delectable baked chicken, and Friday it's fried or broiled flounder fresh from the sea, both at buy one, get one free prices. For early or late dining in our fresh new atmosphere, sample our daily super specials from 2 to 4 and 8 to 10 p.m. The place for good food at special prices is the Stone Mill Family Restaurant, the restaurant that cares for you.
This is a plug for James F. Wild with 8 locations in Lancaster to serve you.
Let's talk business. Graduation's not the end, it's the beginning. You need the education and confidence to take on what lies ahead. Here at Palmer School, you can get an ASB degree in business administration or secretarial science. You can select accounting, medical office assistant, word processing specialist, or professional security guard.
At Palmer School, we assist you with everything from financial aid to job placement. So call us at 392-1700.
It's your call. You can enjoy the fresh baked quality from Domino's Pizza or take your chances with the Noid. You can have pizza made to your order, or you can count on our famous 30-minute delivery, or you can taste the quality from Domino's Pizza, so avoid the Noid. Domino's Pizza delivers. Call now.
Well, look at some of the fans here at Millersville's Fusillo Gym. Jim Doherty, Bill Arnold, and we're live on Cable 22, the Marauders and the Mount St. Mary Mounts in a non-league contest and a dandy. 48-46 the Mount at halftime. And Jim, Millersville getting excellent early play from Troy Daniel. A good offensive performance out of Thacker. Lawton and Hughes contributing a lot. Big key offensively. We haven't heard much from Bobby Bradfield. Part of the reason for that, of course, is the good D by John Moore and Cliff Warren. Bradfield held to only 2. Just to give you an idea, he had 18 in the first half against Cheney the other night, which included 5 3-pointers. So you got to figure John Cochan will do a little something to free up Bradfield in the second half. Conversely, Mike Grimes, a big key for the Mount, and of course Thacker having all kinds of trouble with him. But I think Rob Bard has proven that he can do the job on Grimes. What you're going to do against guys like Murphy and Tate, we'll have to see. But it's going to be a dandy second half, and I'm looking forward to it.
Exactly right, Bill. The center play, Grimes outstanding at both ends of the court. Thacker doing an excellent job offensively. Rob Bard doing a good job defensively. If you could put those two gentlemen in the same pair of sneakers out there, we might be able to neutralize Grimes. One of the keys to the game, the defense of John Moore, 6'2", 175-pound senior for the Mounts, and he has been all over Bradfield. Bradfield at 6'1", he's just outsized a little bit by Johnny Moore, and Moore indeed an outstanding player offensively and defensively, and something which Millersville will have to overcome the second half. Monroe came in, he got a little penetration, he was able to dish off to Rob Lawton. A couple times Lawton with some successful drives, and I think this is something that should be exploited a little bit more. You need Lawton, you need Hughes to take the ball to the hole. Mount St. Mary's beginning to get into some foul trouble, and I think if Millersville continues to challenge them down under, they may be able to open up that outside for Bradfield just a bit.
Well, Jim, we're going to pause for a couple of minutes of very interesting conversation and a very interesting look at Millersville University, and then we'll be back with that interview with WLPA Radio's By Kinzer. So stay with us. We'll be right back, but don't go away. Enjoy this synopsis of Millersville University. We'll be right back.
Millersville University is the University of Lancaster County. Founded as a private teacher training school in 1855, Millersville is now one of the 14 universities of the state system of higher education. Degree programs are available in a wide range of fields. Approximately 7,000 students, many of them Lancaster County residents, study at Millersville. Many local residents attend the university on a part-time basis, both at the undergraduate and graduate level. Some seek skills necessary for career advancement, and others work toward a degree. The university serves the community, too, by offering non-credit courses and specialized workshops and courses both on and off campus. Millersville's academic offerings include more than 100 low-cost, high-quality programs in its 3 schools: the School of Science and Mathematics, the School of Humanities and Social Sciences, and the School of Education. In addition to degree programs in the traditional liberal arts and teacher training fields, the university curriculum includes majors in business administration, meteorology, computer science, nursing, medical technology, nuclear medicine, and industrial technology. For students seeking highly challenging academics, the university provides an honors program. Also available are pre-professional programs such as pre-med, pre-law, and cooperative engineering. The university also enriches the Lancaster County community through a variety of special events: concerts, plays, art exhibits, and lectures. The Center for Politics and Public Affairs brings to campus well-known political leaders whose lectures are open to the public. And Millersville's Cultural Affairs Committee annually offers students and local residents a full schedule of films, concerts, dance programs, and stage shows. The university supports its students with numerous services, including personal and academic counseling, tutoring, placement assistance, and recreational and intramural sports programs. In intercollegiate sports, Millersville has a diversified 18-sport program for men and women. The Marauders compete in one of the nation's best small college leagues, the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference, and vie for NCAA Division II honors in 15 sports. Scholarships are available to highly qualified students in the arenas of sports and academics. Many scholarships are possible because of the contributions made by businesses, friends, employees, parents, and alumni of the university. More than 6,000 alumni of Millersville reside in Lancaster County, and many are involved in programs to support excellence in all areas of the university. You're invited to visit Millersville's park-like campus, enjoy the beautiful area around the lake, explore the library and art galleries, and tour the well-maintained buildings. Get to know Millersville. It's your university. For further information, write to the Office of Admissions, Millersville University, Millersville, Pennsylvania, 17551, or call 872-3371.
Jim Doherty back at courtside for halftime, and it's my pleasure to bring you By Kinzer with the aforepromised interview at halftime. By, what do you see in the Marauders tonight different from the previous editions, which have been running roughshod the past 5 games?
As somebody told me after the Westchester game, who sees most of the game, Coach Cochan, since Tommy Gaines went down, has to coach. He doesn't have that depth. He has done an outstanding job coaching, playing 7 guys all the way from the abortion, he called it, at Shepherd, where 5 of the first 6 guys fouled out, and he almost won it. He's doing a super job using 7-1 to their advantage, Jim. That's the big difference. Plus, they're living now with Gaines down here with the bad ankle. He might be back in a week or so. They're living by the perimeter shooting. If you have it, you win. If you don't, they're 1 for 8 tonight. You struggle, but still they're in the ball game, Jim.
That's exactly the way we started our show. Right at the top of the show, we said they live and die by the 3-point shot, and as you suggest, they're 1 for 8. I said that a lot of the responsibility for that lies on the shoulders of Johnny Moore, the 6'2" guard for Mount St. Mary's, who's fronting Bob Bradfield, who leads the conference and
second in the country, Division II.
Second in the country in Division II, 3-point shooting.
Right.
That's a whole lot of 20-footers to get that activation.
Interesting. Randolph Bacon, who beat Millersville, and Millersville are 2 of the top 5 teams in the country in making 3-pointers since this all went into effect. So if you like exciting basketball, this is the place to be, and I'm glad you're here tonight doing it live, because once again, 2 games in a row, and the Marauders are playing, I think, up to their limited capabilities, with the exception of that 3-point play.
Yeah, they're getting some outstanding offensive play on the inside from Carlton Thacker, although he's certainly being presented with his problems in the person of Mike Grimes.
True.
And Rob Bard, the 6'7" freshman, coming in and getting a little physical and doing a good defensive job, but then the flip side, not scoring in the first half.
Well, Thacker can't play Grimes man-to-man. You saw that. Thacker's got 9 big points and 4 boards, but Hughes is their leading rebounder. Isn't that amazing? A 6'3" guard. When Gaines went down, he led the conference rebounding, second in scored, to show you how much they miss him. But I'll tell you, next year, Rob Bard and Monroe have improved. They're not freshmen anymore. They're playing like sophomores.
That's right.
And next year, Rob will move the perimeter, because Eric Yankowie, who's down here, 6'8", will be the power forward. And if Tommy Gaines' ankle's okay, and by the way, he's having an X-ray this week, he might get back in for the last 6 games. So you'll have Yankowie at 6'8", and of course Gaines, and then Rob can play where he's more adept, playing that perimeter where he plays well.
Now, a question: you get Tommy Gaines back.
Yes.
What what do you do? Do you continue your perimeter play, or do you
no.
go back to the inside baseline?
See what happens now. A good team like this ball club, coached by a guy who has, let me just check my stats.
34 years?
Yeah.
Failing 34 years?
34
932 victories?
Oh, it's unbelievable. So anyhow, what's going to happen when you have a guy inside?
Right there's Tommy Gaines.
Right there he is, yeah. And there's Phil Nevin, the big kid from Maryland in that red, and he's 6'11". He'll play next second semester. Eric Incowie's not down here. He's going to every game home and away to show you how he's into it.
That's
so
great.
He told me tonight he's only got 11 more games to wait unless the playoffs come in. But what's going to happen, Jim, with Gaines and Incowie next year, they'll push the ball inside and then dish it back out. You can't have too many guys out in that perimeter, as you know, and it's really going to help Millersville. Hey, we got some great basketball in the county. F&M in the top 20, and the Marauders will come back with 5 in a row. And no matter what happens tonight, Jim, the fans shouldn't look at this as the key game. Millersville's the only undefeated team in the Eastern Conference now, as Cheney beat Kutztown at home. Kutztown's still the favorite in my book with that big Eccleston.
We may remind our viewers who may not be aware of that Mount St. Mary's is not in the PSAC, very obvious.
No.
They're stepping up to Division I next year.
Surprises me, Jim.
Boy, that's a big jump. They apparently have the physical facility. They got a great field house, but
I don't know with Grimes and Moore leaving, Jim. I don't know about the talent there for one. Do you?
Yeah, no, that it certainly doesn't look to me like a Division I.
And you know the league they want to get in is with George Mason, Navy, East Carolina, North Carolina, Wilmington, and if they want to get in that, I do think Coach Phelan must get a little more physical up front there.
I would certainly think so, because his big man is now being pushed around a little, if you will, by 6'7" freshman Rob Bard. Bard's just taking Grimes out away from the hole and opening up the rebound lanes for Hughes, etc. One last question.
Yeah.
What do you think of the officiating tonight, Bob?
Well, I thought it was. I like to get on the official. I thought there was maybe only 2 bad calls, and yet Millersville shot 12 foul shots to 1. I thought the foul that Grimes should have had 3 on down here, about 6 minutes left, and the last play Millersville possession, I thought that was a shooting foul.
I announced that Hughes got mugged.
Yeah, he did. Right. But I thought the officiating with Phil Stout and Canizaro here, but Coach Kachan has been on the guy on the left, Canizaro, all night.
Yeah.
He thought that Grimes should have had another, but I think the officiating is done well. And boy, when you're on the road and the home team shoots 12 and you shoot 1, you're always concerned, and Coach Phelan hasn't objected too much.
Yeah,
but
I should think so. Well, By, it's certainly our pleasure to have you here. By, the voice of Millersville on WLPA, and with the Mount St. Mary's Mounts leading Millersville 48-46. We'll be back. There's Coach John Kochan shaking his head coming out of the locker room. We'll be back with second half action right after this message.
Nestled deep within Tanger Hall on the campus of Millersville University is a place where fantasies can be fulfilled. Venture to the costume shop and turn your party, event, or holiday into the happening of the year with our load collection of 8,000 costumes. Transform yourself into the character of your choice from history, films, books, or fantasy. Open year-round for all of your party, seasonal, or theatrical needs. Come, live your imagination at the Costume Shop in the basement of Tanger Hall on the Millersville University campus. For rentals or further info, call 872-3767.
Never before has so much technology been applied to the marriage of meat and bun.
You can cut the time it takes to make a burger.
Shoes and convertibles.
You can cut the time it takes to cook one.
Hamburger.
And in the end, you can cut the heart right out of a burger. All in the name of good business. Well, at Hardee's, we put a little extra care into each hamburger we serve so we can make this cut in the name of good taste. Because at Hardee's, we're out to win you over.
All righty. Our thanks to By Kinzer, old friend and colleague, and he kind of broke me into this craziness a few years back, like, hard to believe, about 17 now.
I was going to say,
wow.
What's a few, Bill?
About 16 or 17. 48-46, the Mount on top by 2. As you take a look at some illustrious fans here in the reserved section, kind of a reserved gentleman there in the reserved section here at Fusillo Gym. The Mount on top behind Mike Grimes, 14, and we'll see what John Kochan, if anything, has done, along with Tim Trier and the other assistants here. Andrew Marshall is involved in the Millersville program now. There's John and Tim. About the low post play of Mike Grimes and the three-point shooting of Mike Tate and Scott Murphy. Interestingly enough, it is Mount St. Mary's doing the three-point damage. They have 5 of them, while Millersville with only 1, and yet the Marauders down by only 2. Here we go. Bradfield, Hughes, Daniel, Lawton, and Thacker. Grimes, Moore, Watson, who's been very quiet, Mike Tate, and Sean Fagan for the mount.
Thacker wide open under the bucket. Grimes just daring them to put the ball to Thacker, and they do it. Carlton Thacker converts to tie at 48. Grimes playing very loosely on Thacker.
Say one thing about Carlton, he sure is chipping in with the offense in this particular game. They go right to Grimes, and that time he missed badly.
But he got a garbage bucket on the rebound.
A lucky bounce right back to Mike, but he had the presence to be right there and put it right back in. 50-48.
Millersville had done a good job blocking out that time.
Look at Lawton penetrating and quickly draws the foul on Fagan. Now, he is the first mount player. I beg your pardon. I was about to say the first mount player to pick up his third, but that's only 2 for Sean. Warren, Fagan, Tate, Grimes, and Moore, Jim, all with a pair of personals.
Lawton to shoot 2. That one just would not go down for him. And Mike Monroe replaces Bradfield. Bradfield unable to get away from Moore. Just unable to get away from him.
All right, Rob Lawton at the line, the 6'5 senior, is 2 for 5. And now he brings that percentage up to 500. Yeah, that was a quick substitution. Less than a minute, Monroe is in and Bradfield is out as Lawton hits them both. And we're tied at 50.
Tied at 50 is right.
So Monroe gets to, no, it looks like Daniel gets the assignment on Moore, and Monroe gets Mike Tate. Watson is open. He misses. Fagan should have gone right back up.
Though he tried to put it under to number 24. Bad pass. That was Tate.
Hughes. That's Thacker. Carlton. Little jump hook. It rolls out.
Rimmed it.
You could bet that John Cochan worked on the psyche of Carlton Thacker at halftime. Mike Tate. Uh-oh.
That's a travel.
Yes, it is.
Travel.
Good call, Jim Doherty. And good defense by the Marauders as they stop Grimes the first 2 times he's touched the ball in that low post this half.
Well, he stopped himself that time. He grabbed the ball and took 2 steps. He had the easy shot.
Watson and Hughes. I think Watson has a rough night ahead of him if he's going to try to stay with Claudius. Good help out, though. Here's Daniel, open baseline, missed. Rebound broken loose by Lawton, blocked by Watson. Look at this action. Daniel gets one.
Some good work around the board by those 6'3 people, just breaking it out, and hustling for the ball. Millersville takes the lead.
Uh-oh, Moore is open from three-point land, but he throws up a brick. Thacker has the rebound. John Moore has been very quiet since the early going. 7 on the ball game. Millersville up 52-50. Little jump hook by Thacker, and he's deadly in there. Well, Thacker says, take that, Mike Grimes. We're going to give some of your own medicine back to you. And Thacker has a dozen, Jim.
And Millersville has ripped off 6 straight points since Mike Grimes tapped in his own miss.
17-15 left in the game. Here's Grimes leaning in. Thacker got a piece of it, but Hughes lost it out of bounds. Good D, though.
Hughes. Yeah, it was. Hughes helping out, coming down there on Grimes. They're helping out on him. Grimes should be looking for Watson or Tate or Fagan.
Here's a design play off the inbounds pass, and Hughes slaps that one away.
I think he got away with one that time, Bill.
Boy, John Cochan and the Marauder bench all on their feet, not all of the players, but all the coaches on their feet, shouting instructions continually. Moore open, three-pointer, yes.
Yes.
Well, mentioning that he was quiet for a while was the kiss of death as John Moore buries one, and it's 54-53 Millersville. Lawton spins, whistle, offensive foul on Lawton, and the crowd is not happy with that one. Some calls have definitely...
I mean, that's a spin move outside the man.
I take it you didn't like the call.
No, he didn't have to make any call. There wasn't enough significant contact to make any kind of a call.
I think John Cochan agrees. That is only the first foul, though, on Lawton, but it takes away a bucket, as Lawton did convert. Well, the Mount can go back on top by 1.
I'll tell you, the officials are slicing the heart of Millersville from time to time here.
Uh-oh, Watson in close. You can't let him in there. He goes up over Thacker. The Mount regains the lead at 55-54. 16:20 left. Lawton is in trouble. He needs help, and he almost threw it away.
Monroe in front of Moore.
Oh, that's a travel.
Oh, you bet.
A little stroll in the park there for Mike.
Yeah, he was tempted to dish off to Thacker, but then thought better of it and proceeded to put down steps 2 and 3.
16 even left in the ball game. Grimes is open, and he's a good shooter from there. He misses, but Watson, who's becoming very active here in the second half, has the offensive rebound. Remember, Watson's the freshman, and he had 20 against Millersville the first time.
Watson's open right under the bucket now.
Uh-oh, nice pass from Tate to Grimes. Grimes now has 18 to lead all scorers, and John Cochan is going to talk things over with 15:39 left in the game and 7 unanswered points by the Mount. Mount St. Mary's 57, Millersville 54. We have a commercial timeout.
At Harwilco Cycle, you'll get more than just a bike and a sales receipt. You'll get 2 free services, a comprehensive warranty on every product they sell, experienced sales help to ensure proper fit and ride, a full line of cycling clothing and accessories, and a choice of top brands in the bicycle industry, all fully assembled at no extra charge. So whether you're a weekend biker or a hardcore enthusiast, you'll find it all at Harwilco Cycle, 626 West Orange Street in Lancaster.
The Subway has arrived in Lancaster, except this Subway is a quick transport to appetite satisfaction. Enjoy our fresh subs, salads, and rolls baked on the premises in foot-long or 6-inch sizes. The ticket to the Subway is the word fresh. Feast on our succulent seafood or savory roast beef, turkey, or ham. You can catch the Subway in Lancaster on the corner of Prince and Orange Street from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. 7 days a week. The best way, the only way, Subway.
Okay, Millersville about to inbound. Bill, they're going to have to work on that baseline defense. That time the dish-off went to Grimes. They had a choice of 2 people under the bucket with no one defending, and they can't let that happen. The Ville down by 3, trying to get back in.
Monroe penetrates and lays it in. Good pass by Daniel, and Mike Monroe converts. He's got 4. Millersville down by only 1. Looks like they're in a zone right now as Tate goes up and misses. Thacker playing a much better second half.
Good hands by Thacker. That rebound came off hard, and he grabbed it firmly.
Daniel goes down, and he has it. What was that?
An offensive foul.
Well, maybe a push off with the elbow. We're not down there, but the official.
This is getting unbelievable.
Caused the offensive foul on Daniel, and he is the first Marauder to pick up his second. Almost wish you could hear what By Kinzer was saying right now. You could bet he'd be howling.
I'll tell you, I don't know what they're seeing down
Look at that
there.
hand. Oh, now a whistle, and who's that foul on? Tate from the floor reaches in.
Makeup.
Good D by Mike Monroe, and then they say Mike Tate reaches in, and now he is the first Mount St. Mary's player to pick up his 3rd. Well, they can ill afford to lose Mike Tate, their leading scorer on the year, has a dozen in this one. Hughes stops, throws up a hook, and Thacker's there.
Thacker with the offensive rebound.
Hey, Thacker's leading the way in this half, Jim. He's got a half a dozen. He's got 14 in the ball game.
That's what they need from Big Carlton.
Millersville's back up by 1, 58-57. Here's John.
Oh, Grimes is just hammering Thacker. Just hammered him, elbow to elbow, and they're separated. I'll tell you, Thacker took 3 good elbows right in the chest. And he just stood there and took it. He didn't retaliate.
Well,
Really.
let's see what the officials do about it. Did they toss him? I think he's gone. Now Jimmy Phelan is very unhappy. 5-0 is gone. Mike Grimes was thrown out of the game for the play away from the ball. Jim saw it, I didn't. Or did they? No, wait a minute.
Called a foul on him. Called a foul on him.
My goodness, I thought the way Jim Phelan and the crowd reacted and the way the official pointed, he was gone. And now there's a media timeout. Let's keep it here,
yeah,
Jim.
Let's do it.
As you can see, Jim Phelan not happy with the call, but he should be happy that he didn't lose his center to the locker room. I thought he was gone.
You know, we had just finished commenting about Thacker. You said Thacker's leading the way. And I just thought in my own mind, you know, if we could just get a little more strength on defense from him down there. And I look down and I'm looking in the paint, and he's standing there like a big tall tree. And here comes Grimes with the elbow, and he's going boom, boom, boom. 3 times he drives the elbow right into the chest. Thacker just stood there like a very disciplined athlete. No retaliation. Finally, they got the call on it. But it's just a foul. It's not a disqualification. But I think Thacker's serving notice that he's here to play a ball game.
If it in fact is a foul, and I'm basically still waiting to see that pronouncement on the scoreboard, it is 3 on Grimes. So he joins Tate in a bit of foul trouble, but both players remain in the contest. Grimes and Tate are still there with Moore, Watson, and Fagan. Mike Monroe cheerleading as Millersville breaks the huddle, leading by 1.
Yeah, it resulted in a turnover. I mean, the foul call, because Mount St. Mary's had the ball at the time.
You got it. It is a foul on Grimes.
Yeah, I didn't see it go up on the board, but the official clearly indicated the scorer's table, number 5-0.
All right, the Marauder fans trying to get a wave going here. Daniels trying to get a bucket. He won't get it. There's Thacker again.
Carlton Thacker working to the hole.
Whoa.
Now he draws a foul.
Well, Mike Tate, I'll tell you what happened. Thacker was not turning around on the way back down the floor. Carlton was kind of lollygagging his way back, and Tate beat him down, jammed it in, and, of course, cut the foul.
Yeah, Tate, obviously Tate is not Thacker's man, but Thacker's the first man down the court, and here comes Tate on a dead run and a stuff and a foul.
This 3-point play could tie it at 60, and he misses. Rebound, Johnny Moore hustles, and now the Mount can take the lead. Boy, we've got 14 minutes to go, and don't go away, because this is going to be a dandy. Mike Monroe has done a nice job.
Watson working the back door, and they can't get the ball to him.
Well, that was almost a great play by Watson, but Monroe again comes away with it. Lawton, yep. Millersville by 3, and credit Mike Monroe with some good defense. Oh, John Moore gets Monroe to the ground. Grimes, and they strip him of it. Here comes Monroe. Hughes, fouled by Tate, and I got Mike Tate for 4.
Tate had to foul him because Hughes was on a roll. Monroe leading the fast break down the middle. Good defense, causing a turnover. Bradfield and Bard coming in for the Marauders. Looks like Monroe and Thacker are going to take a rest. 13:20 to go. You want your big man ready for the end of this ball game.
What a great job Carlton Thacker has done in the first 6.5 minutes of the second half. We were on him a bit in the first half, but he really came out to play. He did the job defensively on Grimes and has chipped in with 8 points, and he's the leading Marauder scorer with 16.
Scott Murphy comes in replacing Mike Tate with 4 fouls.
It's going to hurt the Mount, I'll tell you. Murphy, no slouch, but Mike Tate, their leading scorer, will now spend a good deal of time on the Mount bench as Hughes hits 2, and Millersville up by 5, and that's their most comfortable lead in a long time, since I'd say about midway through the first half. There's a whistle away from the ball, and Bard working over Grimes is going to be called for his second. Remember, no Marauder with more than 2. Bard, Thacker, and Daniel with 2, and that's it. To speak of, I should mention that Lawton and Hughes each have 1, but that's it. Moore only has 5 seconds. He finally does get it in. 3-pointer by Watson will not go. Rebound, Hughes.
That's got to be Murphy.
And does Hughes and Daniel, do they ever sky? And Murphy didn't have the position.
Murphy came over the top. Hughes 6'3", but he plays a lot bigger.
Season high for Carlton Thacker, we're being told, is 16. So a nice job as Thacker has really come alive here in the second half. Resting right now, though. Lawton, air ball. Good D on Rob, and
Marauders dropping back. Bradfield almost got it.
Well, that's going to be a jump ball. Look out. As Lawton and Bard both tangle with Sean Fagan. Whose ball? I think it's the Mount ball.
Yeah.
64-59 on the alternating possession. What's the problem here?
I think they need a towel.
Yeah, some perspiration on the deck. Hey, we'll be back here a week from Saturday, February 13th, for a doubleheader. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm not. Millersville women's and men's basketball starting about 6 p.m. live on Cable 22. A doubleheader that night, February 13. Mark it down. That's a Saturday.
Worked into Fagan. Bradfield just waited for Moore. They tried to get Moore isolated down low. Couldn't do it. Grimes out at the top of the key. Bard cuts him off.
Good D by Millersville, but
Watson beats Hughes.
Boy, he did a nice job of getting away and then leaning in for a tough shot. 64-61, the Marauders by 3. Whistle. They're going to call.
Bard with an aggressive block. He set up the pick. It's a good call. He set up the pick, and as he saw it coming, he didn't really take it. He put his arm up to shield his body.
And that's
a good call.
That's going to get Thacker back in there because that's 3 on Bard. And Rob Bard turns around, has something to say to Grimes as he leaves. And real war of words down there. So Thacker's back. Rested now. 64-61 though. The Mount can cut this thing to 1 or maybe tie with a 3-pointer. Fagan throws it away.
He's worrying about backing into Thacker, not stepping out to meet the ball. 64-61 the Ville.
Still looking for Bobby Bradfield, who has the ball, to get a little more involved in the offense. Bradfield has only 2 in this game. Hasn't taken many shots though.
Moore has taken him out of the game.
Hughes now with 16 to tie Thacker for team honors. Millersville up by 5. Watson's going to take a 3. Misses it. Thacker with another rebound. Here come the Express. Hughes, bang, and he's fouled.
Got a foul call, and he doesn't even know it.
Yeah, Claude, you have to go back down there and shoot. They call
Fagan says, I didn't get him, and Hughes is going to the other end of the court. That, you know, when they called him back, I thought they were going to hit him with a tee for hanging on the rim, because he did take a ride on that boy. Mount St. Mary's calling a timeout here. The Ville up 68-61, 11:24 to go in the second half. Bill, an outstanding comeback by Millersville, and we'll be back with all the action right after this message.
Good girl, King.
Watch Best Friends every Monday and Thursday at 7 p.m. only on Cable Channel 22. And see the animals at the Humane League who need a home.
Jim, I think a very wise timeout by the veteran coach, Jim Phelan, with over 640 wins to his credit. He knows when Millersville's getting some momentum, and he called a timeout at just the right time. Hughes misses. Millersville's lead a precarious 7 with a lot of time left, 11 minutes, 20 seconds. But they've outscored the Mount 22-13 here in the second half.
A lot of contact on the back line. Troy Daniels, air ball,
look out
off by Thacker.
Lawton is fouled by Watson.
Rob Lawton going for the reverse dunk.
Good foul by Watson. He didn't have any, and Lawton was going in for a slam.
Good rebound by Carlton Thacker. Toughest ball to rebound for a man, you know, blocking out in position is an air ball because you're expecting a deflection. Thacker grabbed it securely.
We'll back up a second. Really, this play really started with a great defensive play by Bradfield as he got a piece of John Moore's shot. And then Thacker with the air ball catch, and he started to break. Lawton hits 1 of 2. 69-61 Millersville.
An 8-point lead. Mount St. Mary's has to start thinking about a three-pointer maybe, or just working. And there goes Grimes to work on Thacker. Doesn't make it, and Hughes takes the ball away.
Hughes again! They can't stop him.
And they just hit Murphy with another foul, I believe, Bill. Scott Murphy hit with the foul. That's his third. When Claude Hughes is airborne, you're not going to stop the shot. All you can do is pick another foul.
They've got to get Mike Tate back in the lineup. 4 fouls in all. Tate is back in. Murphy stays in, though, and that means Fagan goes to the Mount bench. Millersville's largest lead of the night, right now at 10, and they get the offensive rebound. 71-61. Millersville up by 10. Daniel's going to try a 3. It won't go. Hughes almost had that
Claude
offensive
Hughes
rebound.
had the ball, but it rolled off. A 10-point lead by Millersville at the 10:30 mark of the game.
Don't think for 1 minute Mount St. Mary's is going to roll over.
No
This
way.
is a Division II power, my friends, and they've lost 2 in a row coming in here. They don't want this. There's a foul on Thacker. Now he's got 3. Good move by Grimes underneath. So Thacker and Bard both in a little bit of foul trouble with 3 apiece.
Yeah, Daniels cut across in front of Grimes and disrupted him, but I guess Thacker had him with the body.
Mike Grimes, the 6'10 senior out of DeMatha High in Washington, D.C., now has 19 points to lead all scorers. Well, I better check that. Nope. Claude Hughes has 20, and now Grimes has 20. And here's some full court pressure by the Mount. Millersville up by 8. It's been a tough road trip for Coach Phelan. Here's Daniel going to try again. This one also won't go. And here's a breakaway for Watson, maybe. Bradfield with a good foul.
Got him, that's a good foul.
First foul on Bobby Bradfield, and Alex Watson is going to shoot a pair.
Watson never let the ball go. You know, several years ago, if you were fouled and didn't leave the ball go, it was not called a shooting foul.
That was too many years ago. Big second half for Alex Watson. Very quiet in the first half. Has 8 points altogether.
Boy, he doesn't even disturb the net when he puts that ball down.
Missed that one.
Like I said, he didn't disturb the net.
Almost a bad pass by Thacker. Look out, Bard, or Lawton, I mean, is hammered.
Oh my gosh, no foul call. That man is watching another game.
I can't believe that.
He's got a transistor in his pocket. He's not watching the same game.
The entire Millersville bench is on their feet, and I have to agree with you this time, Jim. That was an assault and battery charge. Thacker falls away on the baseline. Look at Hughes at 6'3".
And Tate on the floor. Hughes working over top.
73-64. 9.5 minutes left. More. Here's Grimes. Look who's got him. Hughes. Grimes leans in and gets the bucket.
How do you make that many steps? I don't know. I guess I'm being overly critical, but golly, he covered a lot of territory without putting the ball on the floor.
John Cochan says to Carlin Thacker, hold your ground, big guy. Don't give him that baseline. Grimes has 22, and he has been a hot player lately. Bradfield for 3. Yes! Somebody left him alone.
They finally left him get a shot.
And that's a mistake. The Marauders by 10, equaling their largest lead of the night. Here's a 3 from Murphy. That's an air ball. Watson's right there, though. Murphy hit 2 of those in the first half. Moore from way outside misses. Wait a minute. I think they're going to get Daniel. Good call that time, as Troy Daniel is called for his 3rd. So the foul's mounting up on Millersville.
We're going to be going to the line this time. Millersville in the penalty situation.
And Alex Watson, the freshman out of Baltimore, Maryland, will shoot at least the front end.
He went over the line.
Watson is now 3 for 4 from the free throw line.
Poor John Cushan was off the bench.
Missed the second one. Marauders by 9. 8:35 left in the game. That's an eternity. Watson leans in and fouls Hughes. Second on Watson, and of course the Mount also over the limit. So Claude Hughes will go to the line. Hughes has 22 to lead the Marauders. Grimes with exactly the same amount, 22 to lead the Mount.
Rolls that one in. Strong on the front iron.
First time these two teams played, Hughes had a monster of a game. Let me just check that. I know he had a tremendous game, and he makes both of them here. He had 32 in the first game. He has 24 right now. So they really haven't figured out the Claude Hughes puzzle. 78-67, largest lead. The Marauders by 11. Watson very active this half. Here's Tate again. He's tough, and he banks that one in.
Nice shot.
Mismatch as Tate is 6'5", over Daniel at about 6'2½. Defense by Tate as he stripped the ball. You can see they need him in there. Tate is so important to the Mount attack. Things have sort of stabilized since Mike came back. Here's Watson, and that one won't go.
Thacker with the board. Good position on Grimes. Good rebound. 78-69. Millersville thinking perhaps using the shot clock a bit. It's down into the 30s.
Thacker has been playing a good deal without a rest here. This is usually about, look at that shot by Bard. I'm sorry, Lawton. I said Bard. Rob Lawton with a great baseline move.
That stumbled right into one of the Mounts. Put it high on the glass. Got it to come down. Good defense. Hughes breaks it out. Bradfield on a run. He'd be well advised to pull it up. He doesn't.
Uh-oh. Thacker has 3. Now watch this. But no foul at least.
He had to do that.
Watson lays it in. Nice pass by Tate. 80-71 Millersville by 9.
Bradfield was on the front end of a 2 against 3 that time, and
Thacker. I think Thacker's starting to suck some air, playing a lot, and might need a blow for the final run. We'll see. John Moore. Uh-oh. Daniel might have 4.
Oh, no.
And he does. Troy Daniel in deep foul trouble now and will probably have to sit down. Remember, 6:40 left in the game. Daniel goes out with 4.
I'm sorry, Bill. I just can't comprehend some of the calls in this game. Daniel reaches an arm out and intercepts a pass cleanly, and they hit him with a foul.
Mike Monroe is back in as Mike Grimes goes to the line and misses. Thacker has it knocked away.
Millersville ball. Gotta be.
And it's now, let's see. Yep, a media timeout as they call it. And with 6 minutes and 39 seconds left in the game, Millersville leads by 10. And we'll be right back with all the final action right here on Cable 22.
Okay, last time. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
And calls are made by him. 82-72. The Marauders by 10.
There you get some cheerleader action.
Yes.
The pep band playing. Pretty good crowd here tonight for a Monday night when most students are in the library and in their rooms hitting the books. Awfully good crowd here tonight. Millersville still not out of the huddle yet.
But for those of you who could not make it down here, we're so glad to be here live on Cable 22. We're glad you're enjoying the game. Remember, a week from Saturday, we're back with a doubleheader and a lot of high school action coming up tomorrow night. Live is Manheim Township at McCaskey, a big Section 1 clash in the Lancaster-Lebanon League. Well, here we go. Remember now, Monroe is in there and Daniels out. As Bradfield working against this pressure, almost threw it away. Hughes finds himself alone and buries it.
Bradfield defeats the pressure by hitting Hughes, and nobody home to pick up Claudius.
Millersville now up by 13. Grimes is left alone from 17, and he hits it. Well, you can't blame Thacker. You don't want to come out there and worry about Grimes. Give him that shot. Here's Hughes from about 22. That's an air ball. That's your basic NBA three-point shot, and Claude was a little too far away. 84-73 with exactly 6 minutes left in the ball game. Cliff Warren has checked in, and there he is, shouting instructions as the sophomore runs the Mount offense. Murphy. Grimes, nice pass to Warren. Double dribble, yep. Good defense by Bradfield.
Okay, turnover, the Mounts.
Here's the pressure.
Mount St. Mary's allowing Millersville to inbound it to Lawton.
Good hands by Grimes. As Hughes tried the old look one way pass to Thacker, cutting to the basket the other way, but Grimes got a big paul in the passing lane.
That's okay. Millersville's got 36 seconds left on the shot clock.
Monroe. Millersville really spreads this offense out. Bradfield is open, and he's got it.
He's trying to. They're getting that shot in the arm that they need from Bradfield now. He hasn't shot much this whole game.
Grimes. Boy, this guy's
Grimes
unconscious, isn't he? 26 points for Mike Grimes. Look at Hughes soaring in. Misses, but Lawton has the rebound. Hey, very quietly, a very big game from Ron Lawton. We'll tell you about it in a minute. He is really playing well tonight.
Not just his scoring, his influence. He's been...
There's a foul on Tate. He's done.
Goodbye. That's a goodbye foul. That's why you let Grimes shoot from out there. He's going to miss it. When you do it, it's your board.
Mike Tate, the 6'5" junior, leading scorer on the year for the Mount, and 16 in this ball game, just fouls out. Millersville with their largest lead at 14. Bradfield goes to the line. Tate's out of the game. It looks good right now, but you never know.
You know, you were talking about Lawton quietly having a nice game. Aside from the point scoring, just his penetration with the ball and his willingness to go in and play with the big boys, I think has really given Millersville a positive attitude.
Obviously haven't seen as many games as so many people here on Press Row, but I'll be anxious to find out when Rob Lawton has had a game like this in this 88 season. He has 17 points, a ton of rebounds, and as you said, doing everything all over the floor. 1 out of 2 for Bradfield.
Bradfield's getting beat coming down the court, but catches up to Warren.
Well, 15 points is what the Mount have to make up, and they better do it in a hurry.
They're going to hit Thacker going over the top.
That was a good call. Carlton leaning in. He's got 4.
That was a call that they've made from the beginning of the game.
John Cochan, Jim, wants to talk some things over now with Thacker in foul trouble, so he calls time with 4:41 left in the game. We'll keep it right here with Millersville leading 90-75. We'll just expand on what's coming up a bit on Cable 22. We mentioned that we've got a lot of high school action coming up. I probably don't have enough time to tell you what all's happening there, except to just remind you that tomorrow night we will be at McCaskey High, a team that's won 6 of their last 7, and they'll be hosting the unbeaten in the league Manheim Township Blue Streaks. So be with us live at about 7:50, maybe 8 o'clock for that one. And remember, back here again a week from Saturday the 13th for that doubleheader, and the Kutztown Bears will be here. That should be a dandy. Jim, we were just told that Thacker has 18 points and 11 rebounds, so a big night for the 7'1" senior.
Hey, they got it from him when they had to, playing up against a very talented 6'10" Mike Grimes, whom in the pregame I somewhat predicted that he'd take Thacker to lunch. And Thacker has really held his own, played an outstanding game.
Well, they're going to keep Thacker in there with only 4:41 left. Rob Bard is in the wings, 3 fouls in all, but Thacker's going to stay as Mike Grimes goes to the line and misses the front end. course, the Mount can ill afford any kind of miss right now, and that one hurt.
Now, I'm sure Coach Cochan told him, you know, let's milk the clock. No, I guess he didn't. Hey, put that ball up with 37 seconds left on the clock.
You can bet you'll see some howitzers being fired up right now, but when you miss, it's to Millersville's advantage for many reasons. They like to run, and maybe not in such a big hurry now, up by 15. 4 minutes and 5 seconds left.
Claude Hughes handling out front.
Well, dumps down, jump hook. He's got it. Whoa. 20 points and 11 boards for Thacker as Warren tries again.
He gets a three-pointer.
Gets that three. 92-78 with 3:45 left.
Now they're doubling Hughes. Nope. Slipping away. They got action against you.
Well, Watson's not real happy. But Lawton was mugged on his way to the hoop, and he'll shoot a pair.
Can't imagine he thought he was going to get away with that one. He had his fingers tucked in and everything. He was coming for the wallet.
He's been watching the one official, so he thought he might get away with it. Rob Lawton's been at that free throw line a lot tonight. As a matter of fact, 2, 4, 6, 8 times, and he is 5 for 8. Make it 5 for 9. We mentioned a few moments ago that Lawton
missed another one.
Is having a big ball game, but a little tough from the charity stripe. 5 for 10 right now. Well, they can cut it to 12 or possibly 11 with a three-pointer. The Mount's not out of this thing yet. Warren says, I better get out of there. Watson will lean in. He's made that shot all night.
Yeah, it's a nice shot.
He leans in and cans it. 10 points in this half, 13 in the ball game for
now,
Alex Watson.
Millersville has got to take some time off the clock here.
Well, the scoreboard is definitely wrong.
They're getting a correction on that.
I looked up and I saw 92-0, and here's Bradfield. He's got another one. I don't know whether Millersville is wearing down Mount St. Mary's, but Bradfield didn't have those kind of shots in the first half.
Well, they're trying to double the ball on this side, and Hughes just took it across court.
Another rebound for Thacker, and here comes Monroe. Foul on Grimes, and Mike has 4.
Monroe just waited for him. I expected him to take that shot to the hole, but he waited for the body and got what he was waiting for.
Millersville is extremely tough, and this may be the understatement of the night to beat here in Fusillo. And this is a very good team coming in here tonight, and Millersville appears to be on their way to win number 12 on the year, a number that the Mounts already have, as Monroe hits the first. They're on their way to avenging a loss to Mount St. Mary's in December when they had Tommy Gaines. 1 out of 2 for Monroe.
Thacker very intelligently backed off that board.
John Moore, he's
traveled. Got to be a travel. Mike Monroe playing against John Moore.
There's Jim Phelan, not happy, wants to talk it over, and will do so with 2:36 left, and Millersville up by 16. We'll take a timeout.
Son, I figured when you were old enough, I'd talk to you about drugs. I'd tell you they're nothing but poison. Tell you to stay away from the garbage that pushes that junk. Only I never figured that I ought to be telling that to a 13-year-old.
If you don't teach your kids to say no to drugs, it's as good as saying yes.
Millersville with Coach John Cochan going out in a blaze of glory. 16 points, their biggest lead of the night. 2:36 remaining on the clock. Millersville took control of this second half with 14 minutes left to play when they jumped out to a 3-point lead. And the lead narrowed, expanded. But then with 10:30 to play, Millersville got a 10-point lead. And they've just been going away since then. Mike Monroe to Claude Hughes. Millersville will handle. They will milk the clock a bit, I'm sure.
Well, let's watch Claude Hughes, because I was just told during the timeout, Jim, that he is 1 rebound away from a triple-double. He has 26 points. He has 10 assists. And he has 9 rebounds as Bob Bradfield was fouled by Moore. So one more rebound and Hughes will have the triple-double, which is obviously quite an accomplishment in basketball. The double figures in those 3 categories: assists, rebounds, and scoring. Very, very tough to do, and a sign of quite a versatile player.
I used to get triple fives. 5 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 fouls.
Yeah.
Bradfield.
We were mentioning
goes to the 97.
Bobby Bradfield was very, very quiet. Well, he now has 11 in this half, 13 in the game, and he can get them in a hurry with those 3-pointers.
Well, I must say he was patient. You didn't see him firing up any bad shots. He waited.
You're right.
He waited for the time. He waited for his moment. Look at Watson underneath the basket.
Look at that defense on Murphy.
Well, Murphy was going to hit Watson, but he left his feet, and then Watson got covered, and he had to unload, so he put up the air.
2 minutes left, Jim. Millersville with their largest lead at 18. It's basically academic now. The Marauders at home aren't going to squander an 18-point lead with 2 minutes left. So you can put this one in the book. And we'll be back here on the 13th. And another timeout. Mike Monroe's going to talk this one over.
Yeah,
or with John Cochan. And
Bradfield was running out of time back there in that possession. Monroe wasn't getting there in a whole big hurry. So rather than take the turnover for 5 seconds, they called a timeout. Cochan still very animated in the huddle. There's Jim Phelan. He's been here before.
Now, Jim, we don't have players of the game by any means, but if you had to select a Millersville player of the game, it would be mighty tough to choose between Hughes, whose numbers probably give him the edge, the great second half Thacker had, and of course the unsung play of Rob Lawton, who has been solid the entire day. Probably you would lean toward Hughes, who is on his way to the triple-double. But they really are
playing well. I was just going to say you got to lean towards Thacker. Thankfully, we do not have to select the player of the game. Mount St. Mary's out from the timeout, ready to play. They're down by 18, minute 47 to go. Millersville with that small lineup. Rob Lawton, the biggest man on the court for the Marauders.
Thacker with 20 points, Jim, and 13 rebounds. So your man is Thacker, and you can make a good argument for Carleton. That's what makes a successful team. Here's Hughes. He's got another one. 3 more for you. I'll still vote for Claudius. He has 29. Missed, but Grimes is there, and he's been there all day. What a great night for Mike Grimes and what will be a losing cause. 101-82 with 1:20 left. Bradfield. Millersville will be returning to league action later this week, where they are 3-0. And obviously they are gaining a lot of confidence now and playing very, very well.
Here comes the Millersville bench. Rob Bard. Here they come. Where's that depth chart, Bill? I'm losing some names here. 32, Jason Jones. Number 4, Ira Carr. Thacker's on the court. Rob's on the court.
Well, Mount St. Mary's is doing the same thing. Here comes Derek Hine, a 6'7" sophomore out of Waynesboro.
He's a big boy.
I tell you, the 2 Murphy brothers, the one that plays here, the one that's at Drexel, and Hine made up one heck of a high school team a couple of years ago at Waynesboro. Here's Thacker, and it rolls in.
Down. 22 for the big guy.
103-82. We'll try to keep abreast of who's doing what out there, but a lot of new faces. That ball, I think, is off of Warren. It is. And inbounding is Jason Jones out of Pottstown for Millersville. And Jones... I was afraid of that because we don't have a number 12.
Right.
I'm glad he missed. Here's Warren. Warren has had a tough night. Here's Derek Hine, and he's tough inside, but that rolls out. Another mount that's in there is Lorian Finney.
Rob Bard got the loose ball, dished it off, and laid a good block.
Look out, there's a foul.
Number 15 over the back. Number 15 over the back.
We're going to find out who this young man is going to the foul line, because on the numbers and charts that we have been so aptly supplied with, we have no idea who the young man is going to the line, but he's going to shoot a 1-and-1, and we're going to get it for you in a second. And he missed. Okay.
Still don't need that name.
That's a 7-footer, Chris Cavanaugh, that got the rebound for the Mount. Well, we've got our executive producer, Phil Ressler, taking care of that duty. And I believe he's got it. Well, it doesn't much matter now. The game's over. It's all over here at Fusillo Gym, and a big win for Millersville as they keep their winning streak alive, avenge the earlier loss to the Mount, and win big here at home, 103-82. We will be back with our post-game wrap-up right after this.
This is a plug for James F. Wild, with 8 locations in Lancaster to serve you.
The restaurant that cares for you. That's our motto at the Stone Mill Family Restaurant at 1550 Columbia Avenue, Lancaster. And we do care for you with a daily breakfast special until 11 a.m. and our buy one, get one free specials on Tuesday and Friday. Tuesday offers our delectable baked chicken, and Friday it's fried or broiled flounder fresh from the sea, both at buy one, get one free prices. For early or late dining in our fresh new atmosphere, sample our daily super specials from 2 to 4 and 8 to 10 p.m. The place for good food at special prices is the Stone Mill Family Restaurant, the restaurant that cares for you.
It's your call. You can enjoy the fresh baked quality from Domino's Pizza, or take your chances with the Noid. You can have pizza made to your order, or you can count on our famous 30-minute delivery, or you can taste the quality from Domino's Pizza, so avoid the Noid. Domino's Pizza delivers. Call now.
Well, there you have a part of the Millersville crowd celebrating this victory. As Bill said, they avenged the early season loss. They avenge it with vengeance, if you will. 103-82 victory. Millersville trailing by 2 at half, came out in the second half and really began to put the offense together. They really began to attack, and they attacked through the big man, Carlton Thacker, which made room for the Claudius Hughes, who had a fantastic second half. They got the rebound, they played the tough defense, pulled down the defensive rebounds. The Express got running. Claudius Hughes with numerous dunks. They just put the entire package together in the second half. Defense, rebounding, good inside game by the big man, Carlton Thacker, and also a good, tough defensive effort by Thacker in the second half. They didn't allow the Mounts to just control the middle. Bobby Bradfield, very sparing, very selective in his shots. He comes away in late going and really ices this thing for the Ville. And really a total team victory, as are all the victories. As we kidded about who would be the player of the game, hey, you can name 7 of them. Everybody contributes on this club. And I agree with Bob Kinzer when he said Coach John Cochan is doing a marvelous job putting this club together, getting the substitutions, and making this thing click. And click tonight they did, Bill.
Well, they did, outscoring the Mount by 23 points in the second half to win by 21, 103-82. Quickly, Hughes with 29. Great second half by Thacker with 22. Bradfield and Daniel with 14. Rob Lawton with a sensational game, quietly chipping in with 17. Want to just congratulate Mike Grimes. Boy, they're moving the bleachers back on us here. Mike Grimes with 28 in a losing cause. Well, we're going to say goodbye from Millersville's Fusillo Gym by thanking our sponsors, as always. Without them, we would not be able to be here live on Cable 22, and that, of course, means the Lancaster Futon Company, James F. Wild, the Sugar Bowl, Millersville Costume Shop, Stone Mill Family Restaurant, Palmer's School of Business, Domino's Pizza, Har-Wilco Cycle, Subway Sandwiches, Durs Amico, Hardee's Restaurants, and the Millersville Alumni Association. High school basketball tomorrow night from McCaskey. We'll be back here on the 13th with a doubleheader, men's and women's. The Kutztown Club will be here. Thank you for being with us. For Jim Doherty, Bill Arnold saying so long from Millersville, the final again The Marauders 103 and Mount St. Mary's 82.
Saturday afternoon, looking really impressive after the win over Illinois. And so, UPI's latest college basketball poll again finds the Wildcats at the top. Brigham Young is 15-0 now, and they're number 2, followed by Nevada, Las Vegas, Temple, and Duke. Not part of the list this week is Villanova, which lost twice last week. Well, tonight at the Spectrum, the Cats entertain number 13, Georgetown. Before a packed house, Villanova had a strong game from center Tom Grice, who had 21 points. Cats by 7 at the half. The game's high score, though, was Georgetown guard Mark Tillman, 24 points off the bench tonight. Villanova's lead reached 16 late in the game. Georgetown cut it down to 6, but that's all the closer they could get. Some nice passing there by Kenny Wilson, the bucket by Gary Massey. Wildcats 7-3 in the Big East. Georgetown now is 4-4. Local college basketball tonight. E-Town wins at Messiah. No final yet on the Lebanon Valley game from down south. And Millersville bounces Mount St. Mary's, the Mount's 3rd loss in a row. On the road tonight, York with a victory. Kutztown loses at home, and that Duke game is now a final 101-63 in favor of Duke. Now from the NBA, the Sixers list Charles Barkley's questionable.
TBS.